Polling stations have opened for early voting in the key battleground state of Florida, where Hillary Clinton and Donald Trump remain in a tight race. Mr. Trump is blitzing the state with 5 rallies while Mrs. Clinton is also swinging through the Sunshine State. Early voting by mail began in Florida weeks ago, with over 1 million people having already cast their votes. Mrs. Clinton holds a narrow 3-point lead over Mr. Trump in Florida, according to a new CBS/YouGov poll. The former Secretary of State had 46% of the vote compared with Mr. Trump's 43%, the poll found. Mr. Trump, who spent the weekend in Florida, was slated to appear at more campaign stops across the state before heading to North Carolina on Tuesday. "We are going to win the great state of Florida and we are going to win back the White House," Mr. Trump said at a rally on Sunday in Naples. But recent polls have put Mrs. Clinton well ahead of her Republican rival both nationally and in several battleground states. Polling in Republican strongholds including Arizona, Georgia, and Utah have also shown closer than expected races. President Barack Obama was quick to point out Mr. Trump's flailing support among Republicans when he lashed out at Rep. Darrell Issa at a fundraiser in La Jolla, California, for his Democratic opponent Doug Applegate late on Sunday. The president rebuked Mr. Issa for fanning the flames that led to Mr. Trump's nomination, calling him Trump before Trump. He also called Mr. Issa shameless for sending out campaign brochures touting his cooperation on issues with the White House after years of criticizing Mr. Obama. Meanwhile, Mr. Trump dismissed surveys on Sunday, urging supporters to help him prove that polls were wrong. "I'll tell you what, we're doing well in the polls. But, you know, I really think those polls are very inaccurate when it comes to women. I think we're doing better with women than with men, frankly," he said. The newspaper, which is owned by casino mogul and Republican Trump supporter Sheldon Adelson, acknowledged Mr. Trump's flaws, but suggested he would disrupt Washington's political norms. "Mr. Trump represents neither the danger his critics claim nor the magic elixir many of his supporters crave," the endorsement said. "But he promises to be a source of disruption and discomfort to the privileged, back-scratching political elites for whom the nation's strength and solvency have become subservient to power's pursuit and preservation." Several newspapers broke with long-standing traditions of backing Republicans or abstaining from presidential endorsements altogether to support Mrs. Clinton, with many noting a marked stance against Mr. Trump. He also mentioned what he would do as president during his first 100 days in office, which included repealing the Affordable Care Act, lowering taxes, and enacting his immigration plan. He added he would support mandatory minimum prison sentences for anyone who attempts to illegally re-enter after being deported. With less than 2 weeks before Election Day, Mr. Trump's campaign has admitted to being behind but added it was not giving up. Despite his slip in the polls, the Republican candidate received his first major newspaper endorsement on Sunday from Nevada's largest newspaper, the Las Vegas Review-Journal.